Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Lamplight City. We are in the crime scene for our newest case. We've had a look at the burned remains here, which were pretty grim, despite it being pixel art. We had a look at the ash pile and everything, and I think it might well be time to move on to somewhere else.
Just a pile of ashes. They can't tell us much more than we already know.
They can't. So we had a good look around. We found a couple of clues. So let's consult our case book. So we've got to investigate the Gascogne Supper Club, visit the offices of Brentwell Magazine, find a suitable container to transport Miss Lathan's ashes, and speak with attorney Jonas Usher. So quite a few things to do. We've got a burned cloth as well, which has some sort of oily residue. Why couldn't I say that there? Residue on it. So let's head off to one of our new locations, I suppose. Can we speak to this guy on the way out? Yeah?
Was there someone else in the room just now? I thought I heard you talking.
No.
Oh, no. It's just sometimes I think aloud when investigating crime scenes.
I see.
Good save. We don't need any more police officers thinking you're insane.
Probably true. Okay, well, is there anything else he has to say?
Ask him about right now.
No. Alright. So let's head out and we'll go to, well, I mean, Gascogne Supper Club is the first one on our list, but we've got to find this container as well. So, where is the Supper Club? Here it is. And that is the magazine place. Let's go to the Supper Club. Let's see what we've got here. Tankard. Could we use a tankard?
That painting depicts a hand dropping a bunch of blood-soaked silver coins into another hand. Definitely sets the bar for the type of people who come here, I'd say. The bridge to Lyon overlooking the House of Parliament. I suppose that seeing that helps the patrons of this club put on airs.
Well, looks like it's somewhere for the elite.
Bothered clearing this table yet, it seems.
No, it does. Oh, we can take that actually.
Well, if no one's cleaned up, you might as well do them the favor.
Huh, maybe we can use that. Pewter tankard. An unwashed mug from the Gascogne Supper Club. It still has traces of liquid at the bottom. I wonder why that's a clue. That's interesting. There's a woman here. All sorts of bottles.
These are all high-end foo-foo liqueurs and cordials. You couldn't pay me to drink that rubbish.
Alright, Bill. Well, let's speak to the woman, I guess.
Excuse me, miss?
Seems to be the only person here.
Oh, well, hello there, handsome. I've never seen you around here before. Care to join me for a drink?
We actually don't want a drink because that suppresses Bill in our head, which I think we don't want to really do for the time being. Isn't it a bit early in the day to be drinking? Sorry, I need to keep a clear head while I'm on duty. We don't want to say that. Thanks, but I'm afraid I'm married. Let's just ask a bit more about her first.
A bit early in the day, don't you think?
Perhaps I would think, if I wasn't on my third cocktail.
Wow, okay.
Impressive. You may have just met your match.
The name's Miles Fordham, and you are?
Charlotte Robineuax.
Okay.
Pleasure. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions?
I suppose not. It would help pass the time.
Okay, well. Let's ask about the Grand Dame's Ball.
Were you here for the Grand Dame's ball the other night?
Of course, we all were. Well, except for Laura. Terrible business.
Yeah.
You mean Laura Dupre?
The very same. Have you met?
I have. In fact, I investigated her attempted murder.
Interesting.
Is that right? I heard it was one of her former servants who did it.
Yes, he confessed to the crime.
I told her keeping servants was a bad idea. They have so much hate in their hearts.
Yeah, wait till you find out what she's been doing, though. Desiree Latham.
Do you know Desiree Latham?
I knew her, yes.
When did you last speak to her?
Oh, it's been ages. She and I haven't had much to do with each other for a while.
Why is that?
It's really not important. We just didn't see eye to eye on a few things.
Well, that makes you suspicious.
Was she at the Grand Dame's ball?
Yes, she was. Drinking up a storm as usual. Desi really knew how to enjoy herself.
How much did she drink?
Oh, I don't know. She used to outmatch me, and I can handle quite a bit.
Let's ask about herself before we get into the death.
Tell me a little about yourself.
Why, Mr. Fordham, I hardly know you. That said, I'm always open to making new friends.
I mean, that is how you get to know people.
Ooh, watch out, Miles. I think she's getting ready to pounce.
Okay, I mean, do we want to compliment her, really? I don't feel like... I mean, given how things can go in this game, who knows? By doing things like this, we could screw up Miles's marriage. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I'm paranoid about everything in this game after some of the things that have happened. You have the most radiant smile. Your hair is quite lovely. I greatly admire your fashion sense. Oh God, what do we say here? Like, I don't really want her to think we're like coming on to her or anything. Let's go with the fashion sense. That seems the least.
You've really got a great sense of fashion and style. All the other grand dames must be jealous.
Oh, you.
Oh. We can keep doing this. Let's see.
Can I just say you've got the most radiant smile I've ever seen?
Oh, why, that's very sweet of you, Mr. Fordham.
Maybe we've.
It's true. Not many women your age still have all their teeth intact.
I beg your pardon.
I didn't know you were such a master of the high kick, Miles. You got your foot in your mouth in record time.
I just meant... You know what? Never mind.
Yeah, real smooth there, Miles. I wonder if we've got to like compliment her to sort of charm her and get answers. I don't know.
I must compliment you on your lovely hairstyle.
Oh, how sweet of you to say. Though it is getting a bit ragged. I'm having it done this afternoon, in fact. My girl Adelaide is a treasure.
Oh!
You don't say. Well, she must be talented to improve on near perfection.
Oh, such a flattering tongue, Mr. Fordham.
So our wife is going to be cutting her hair. Interesting. Maybe we could get our wife to sort of pry into some of her personal affairs?
What can you tell me about Desiree's death?
Just what I've read in the papers. She burned to death. It's horrible. She certainly didn't deserve to die in such a gruesome way.
Did she have any enemies? Anyone who might have wanted to do her harm?
No. Everyone loved her.
Except you?
Mr. Fordham, I said we haven't had much to do with each other. That doesn't mean I didn't care for her. Now please, let's drop the subject.
Okay, fine. Peter Andrews.
Is the name Peter Andrews familiar to you?
Peter Andrews? Is he still around?
That's a yes.
I'd be able to tell you that if you told me who he is.
He's desperate. That's who he is. A lovesick fool who is obsessed with Desi. Sent her love letters all of the time.
Yeah, we found them.
Well, you know where I can find him?
Why would you want to?
Because I want to question him about Miss Lathan's death.
I suppose that makes some sense. All I remember Desi telling me is that he worked at the Bank of Vespuccia, a clerk or some such. Imagine.
Okay.
Thank you. That's very helpful.
A new location then.
Thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to your drink.
Thanks, sweetheart.
And all your subsequent drinks, which you'll probably be having between now and, I don't know, whenever. So we've got the bank now. That's a potential place. Usher and Price. We've got the magazine. Let's go to the magazine place. Why not? Ooh.
Ah, hello there. Are you here to drop off an article?
Nope.
No, actually, I'm a private investigator. The name's Miles Fordham.
How exciting. You must have so many interesting stories.
Maybe.
You could say that, yes.
Please, come in, come in. I'm Alan Brentwell, owner and publisher of Brentwell Magazine.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
So, that's a cool window, I've got to say. That's the first thing I noticed when I came in here. Cool window. Okay, so investigate the supper club, visit the offices of Brentwell Magazine, speak to attorney Jonas Usher, and speak to Peter Andrews at the Bank of Vespuccia. Let's have a look around.
Useful for getting to those hard-to-reach places. In my case, that's everywhere.
Very good. There's an article.
Confessions of a Steam Addict by Ezra Bartlett. I think I'm better off not knowing.
Probably.
For Whom the Bell Almost Tolled by Suki Snobbs. Fascinating stuff.
Yeah, it's quite. There's a box
Empty.
here.
Too bad.
I want to look out the window.
Brentwell has a front row seat to all the horrible things he might want to write about in his magazine.
And I'm sure he does. I'm sure he likes all the gossip.
For the publisher of a sensationalist rag, Brentwell is awfully well read. Assuming he actually has read all those books, of course.
Good point. Might just be there for show. Some filing
I
cabinets.
only begin to imagine how many lurid and salacious articles are kept in those cabinets.
More than we can count, I'm sure. There's some more here as
only
well.
begin to
Okay, no, nothing else to say there. So the last thing it seems like we can do in here is actually talk to Brentwell. Now we've got to be careful here, I think,
I have
because
some questions for you, Mr. Brentwell.
wonderful. It's so seldom I get to answer questions.
We don't want to feed him any information which he could publish in his magazine, especially information that would show that we'd been at the crime scene. So we've got to be just a little bit careful. Let's ask about the magazine.
Tell me about Brentwell Magazine.
We're a monthly publication focusing on both fiction and non-fiction pieces. My dream was to have a magazine that was well-respected and educational.
Good for you.
Sadly, it seems today's audiences are much more interested in reading about sightings of giant bat creatures or mysterious buried treasures. Such a pity.
I hear you have a bit of a reputation for making your reporters do questionable things for their articles.
You are mistaken, Mr. Fordham. I don't force my writers to do anything. They seem to have this notion that the more extreme their research, the more authentic the articles will be.
What sort of extremes are we talking about here?
We had one writer who attempted to heighten the sensation of fear she wanted to express in her story.
Right.
Damn near decapitated herself by sticking her head through an opening at the clock tower at St. Denis Cathedral.
Okay.
Thankfully, she made it out alive. Would have been quite the predicament if she hadn't. Especially considering that was our most popular article last year. Oh, people have such odd taste.
So it seems like he's maybe not one for sensationalist articles then. Let's ask about himself.
What made you decide to start this business?
I always wanted to be a journalist. I never had much luck with any of the local papers, though. So I decided to start my own. I admit it's not exactly what I wanted, but I like to think Brentwell Magazine has found its own unique voice.
Voice? More like a gurgling scream.
Alright, let's ask a bit about Desiree Latham, but I think we might have to tread
What can you
carefully
tell me
here.
about Desiree Latham?
Desiree Latham. Oh, why, she came to me a few weeks ago in response to an ad I took out requesting articles. She told me she had an idea readers would love. We agreed on 3 crowns per paragraph, and she was on her way. Come to think of it, I haven't heard from her in a few days.
Alright, Desiree's death.
Were you aware that Miss Lathan is dead?
What? No, I had no idea. What happened?
I'm not exactly sure. She seems to have burned to death under mysterious circumstances.
Mysterious circumstances?
Yep.
Most of her body was burnt to ash, but there's very little fire damage around her. It's as though she herself just caught fire.
Oh, that sounds positively ghastly. Oh dear,
Is something wrong?
I just remembered. The article she was writing. Dear God, I hope she didn't go too far with her research.
Okay, well let's ask about that article.
What exactly was Desiree's article about?
I'm not entirely sure. She merely came to me with the proposal.
She didn't tell you what
You
that
know.
idea was?
She did, but I wasn't sure what to make of it.
Please, Mr. Brentwell, stop stalling and tell me what she was writing about.
It was about spontaneous human combustion.
Human combustion, eh? Bill mentioned that.
What do you know about spontaneous human combustion?
That's the thing. I don't know very much at all. It sounded interesting enough. That's why I accepted Miss Lathan's proposal to write the article about it.
But what do you know about it?
Only that it's a mysterious phenomenon in which a person catches fire spontaneously and burns to death. It sounds exactly as you described Miss Lathan's condition.
Do you know what Miss Lathan's research on the subject involved?
Only the one contact I gave her, a Miss Angela Maxwell at the Spectre Society.
Oh, hello. We know Angela Maxwell from the Spectre
The
Society.
Spectre Society, huh? Shouldn't be surprised to hear that name again.
Are you a member?
Actually, I am.
Then I suggest you do some research there. There's bound to be something relevant in that curious library of theirs.
Thank you. Perhaps I will.
That's unexpected.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Brentwell.
The pleasure is all mine.
So it turns out this guy's not too bad at all, actually. So that's a welcome change to what I thought was going to happen here. So, very interesting. The Spectre Society pops up once again. Off we go.
Welcome back, Mr. Fordham.
Yeah, we're back again. Suspicious suspicious. Oh my God. Come on, Turian, you can say it. Suspicious happenings going on here, it seems. So we need to find out about spontaneous combustion at the Spectre Society. I wonder if we will get that from here again, like we did the information about reincarnation, or whether it will be Angela Maxwell herself who will tell us a little bit about that. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, guys, we're actually out of time anyway, so we'll figure that out in the next one. It's interesting that we'd be back here again. Wasn't expecting that. Seems like characters do definitely cross over different cases and things, which is great. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. A big thank you to my patrons, Arcades Games, Wayne, Nate, Terminally Nerdy, Paul from the Phantom Fellows, Lyle, and Barry Aldridge for all the support on the channel. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you all next time.